Welcome to the Commercial Gas Engineer channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you a few plant room tours. So I'm going to just give you a quick overview of what I've been doing over the last month. So this is just a plant room visit. So I've been going around plant rooms and seeing what kind of situation things are in, whether they're leaking, whether there are pumps not working, making sure that the pressure is okay in the system, making sure that temperature is okay. That's an old gas meter there. Let me know if you've come across any of them. And there was a booster set just there, and a pressurization unit pump that has failed. Just having a look around to see what else I can see. So in my plant room visits, what I check is the pressure, I check temperatures, I check pumps, obviously if there's any leaks. This is another plant room I am walking into. Boilers are on and operating. This particular one had locked out, so I reset it to see what the situation was with it, and this boiler had locked out as well. They did start up after hitting the reset. The temperatures were well. The plate heat exchanger temperature also was okay. The alarms were going off, saying high alarm and low alarm, but the plate heat exchanger temperature was fine. Also, the system pressure was also good. It's serving a block of flats, so the pressure needed to be quite high. Then I obviously look at the BMS panel to just see what faults we have. Some of them come up as faults because the heating has been switched off, so they're not genuine faults. This is another plant room where I'm doing checks to make sure that all is well. Checking set points. Just doing the general fag checks. Checking the control panel for warning lights. Heating boilers have been switched right down. System pressure. System temperature. Heating's off, so nothing to worry about. In this plant room, having a look around, I'm also checking for safety mats and other safety concerns as well in the plant room. Checking temperature, checking pressure again, looking for faults. This particular pump has a fault, which came up as a seized motor. A lot of things on hand. Everything shouldn't be on hand on a control panel, otherwise there's a issue. Things should be in auto, but sometimes you don't always have the luxury of having BMS engineers on site to be checking those further. Temperatures look good on this particular site. Here we are in another plant room. So I'm just having a look at the drawings. Sometimes they're not up to date. They're the drawings, for example, when the boilers were first installed. In this site, they do have 3 boilers though that are in place, and they do also have 2 plate-to-plate heat exchangers. So here's the gas-fired water heater that they have in place. Just doing a general fag check, checking my fags. Inspecting the pipe work. Making sure pressure is good. Also, it's good to get pictures and so on and things for reference, because sometimes after you've gone to a site, somebody will ask you, did you check this at that particular site, or did you see this, or did you check the pressurization unit? And sometimes if you've got pictures and videos, you can refer back to them if you miss something, because you're not going to see everything on the first visit. You're not going to remember everything unless you have photographic memory. So just having a look at the boilers, seeing what they're set on, see if they've locked out. Because boilers are always firing up, they're going to lock out at some point. So it's good to just check to see if they have. Often ignition assemblies need changing. Checking the control panel settings. These are the plate-to-plate heat exchangers. Just making sure there's no leaks on them. And this is another plant room. Just checking to see the boilers. See if they need resetting. Sign has come up on the BMS, an alarm, which I acknowledged. Heating pump 2. The heating pumps have been turned off because no heating is required for the moment. And into another plant room. In this plant room we have several boilers, but only 2 are working. And then just above the plates we have some varying temperatures that we can check. And system pressure and temperatures. A lot of gauges above the plates. I don't always see so many gauges above the plate-to-plates, but it can be quite helpful. You can see all your pressures and temperatures. It's also nice when things are labelled up correctly. Sometimes you see some odd labels on control panels. So this boiler locked out, boiler 3, gave it a reset. It's now operating. Onto another site. Several boilers inside here. Having a look at the drawings of this site. Can be quite helpful. This is behind the boilers. Good to look at the control panel. Another site. So sometimes I'm able to get to a certain amount of sites in one day. Sometimes 10 to 15 sites. So it can save call outs from just going and checking the states if there's a leak. or if boilers have locked out. So it's just planned preventative maintenance. Because although you may not be going to a site for a particular reason, it doesn't hurt to have a quick look to check the vitals. So you can see on the BMS here on this system more detail. Some of the bigger buildings have more details available. See a lot of pumps on this site. And onto another site. As well as when after visiting the sites, it's good to just leave some notes as to what you find. So when other engineers show up after you, they know what's happening or if something's changed since you went there. Boiler 2 fault. Let's reset that. See if this lights up. Yes, it has. System pressure okay. Decent pressure. It's nice when there's pressure gauges either side of the pump. It's not always practiced, but it does help. More plant room drawings here. It's good to study them. You can get different ideas for system design. On this system, there was one failed pump and 2 failed inverters. And so we're testing the pumps, and one of the pumps managed to work, wiring it straight in, but then that was a temporary measure. This is another site, another tour visit, another visit of a site. Just inspecting pipe work, looking for faults on pumps. Sometimes these lights, the indicator lamps don't all work. You can do a lamp test. Yet the last time I did carry out a lamp test, I recall a BMS panel shutting right down. And then I was asked, why did you test it? I did manage to reinstate it, but just be careful when you hit the lamp indicator test button. It can sometimes cause problems. Can help to check the PRV dates to see if they're due to be replaced. Got the DN number there, DN50, diameter nominal 50. Here we got PN6, pressure nominal 6. Got a bit of corrosion here. Got a direction arrow there on the pump. alcohol controls, hot water service flow, then the hot water service flow goes into the boxing. Got some pumps here on the heating switched off. This is the heating flow. Electrode controls. Some gas pipe work. Pipework disappears around there. (70°C). To return back to the boilers. Solenoid valve. Pressurization unit pressure is okay. Expansion vessel high up. Has a drain off and a isolation on it. This is inside the control panel. Some abbreviations there, GV and SO. And we have our natural gas controller there. And then 24 AC coils and different relays here. Can't find any drawings for the wiring, so have to figure out yourself what each relay is. And up here we have a transformer and a commissioning socket. And then we got some miniature circuit breakers. And we got some contactors here for the pumps. Safety knockoff, dosing pot, Inverses MN LCD screen, with a basic BMS, but at least you can see something. Okay, in this job, boilers needed reinstating after a power cut. That is a valve proving system there connected to the Dung's gas valve, where the light indicator was on. What happened on this system is that the system had been reinstated, but the gas supply needed purging. So the boilers were not firing up at first, but then they just needed to be purged. So there was a little delay in them coming on. So it's going through its firing sequence. And then this is me carrying out plumbing work. It was a blocked drain. So I had a bit of copper pipe inside there. It all backed up. I didn't have any fancy tools to get inside. So I just got a bit of copper. And got some gloves on and got my hand in as far as I could and pulling all the mud out. As you can see, look how long the bit of copper is. And it went pretty far inside. As you can see, this is the connections that were removed, but then were going to be replaced. So I just tested now to see if it's going to clear away the waste. Watch out on using hose pipes depending on where you are in the UK, because there's currently a hose pipe ban due to low level of water reservoirs. There was a hose pipe ban in the UK on the 24th August 2022. So still cleaning away this blockage. It's ideal to have longer gloves so that you don't get sick of contamination. So look how far this pipe went. I think I could have got a longer bit of pipe in there, but have a look inside here. It's on a bit of an angle, hence why there's a bend in the copper pipe. So then I got the wet vac down there to hoover it out even more. So I got water in there, the wet vac, and we're just changing it up a bit. And then put everything back in situ. It's sorted now. So here's the final test to make sure. It's so important after you repair things to test and to make sure that what you have fixed is actually fixed, because you can waste a lot of time repairing things. Fortunately, this water I was running was just before the hose pipe ban. On the system here, back to some gas work. There was a heat 55 Keston which had problems. Wasn't lighting. First of all, it looked like the flue sensor, but it was actually the thermal fuse that was the problem on this particular model. PCB, you can see, is in a bad position, so it needs to be adjusted. Probes were cleaned up on this one. So here we have, I was carrying out some servicing on a Romeo and just showing you there where the low fire is on the right, and then to get in high fire you have to press over here and then plus, or over here and then minus, and then that gets you into low fire. So I was just carrying out some servicing. Okay, thank you for joining me. Please leave comments in the section below. Until next time, bye bye bye.